I was hit while stopped at a red light, but police blamed me. 6 months later, the same driver tried to scam another victim, Perrin, who happened to be an off-duty detective with a dashcam. I was completely stopped at a red light when the car in front suddenly reversed into me. The police officer who arrived blamed Emmy and wrote me a ticket. 6 months later, the same woman tried her scam on an off-duty detective with a dashcam, exposing a 15-person insurance fraud ring that had stolen over $2 million last year. I was driving home from work when I stopped at a red light behind a black Himd. Without warning, the Simd reversed several feet directly into my Honda's front bumper. The impact was minor part, just a small scuff on both cars' part, but I called the police to document it properly. Within 3 minutes, sheepishly fast, in retrospect, an officer arrived. Before I could explain what happened, the Sim driver Perrin, a well-dressed woman in her 40s parent, was already showing him her neck brace and crying about her severe whiplash. She reversed into me while I was completely stopped, I explained, pointing to our positions. The officer barely glanced at me. That's not possible. This is clearly a rear-end collision, which means you are at fault. When I insisted on explaining, he cut me off. Look, I've been doing this for 15 years. Commas don't just reverse at stoplights. You weren't paying attention and hit her. Here is your citation. 2 weeks later, my insurance company called. The Simd driver had filed a claim for $3,400 in vehicle damages plus $12,000 in medical expenses for severe neck and back injuries requiring ongoing physical therapy. The claims adjuster sounded confused. Your accident report says you rear-ended her at approximately 15 miles per hour, but you are saying you were completely stopped and she reversed into you? Exactly, I said. The damage was just a tiny scuff. That's interesting, he replied, because she submitted photos showing significant front and rear damage to her Himd. Mind to bring in your car in so we can inspect it? When I arrived at the insurance office, the adjuster took one look at my car from across the parking lot and immediately knew something was wrong. The severe collision had left nothing but a faint mark on my bumper that you could barely see unless you were looking for it. This doesn't match the damage report at all, he said, showing me photos of the Simd with a crushed front end and damaged rear bumper. These damages couldn't possibly have come from your car. My insurance company launched a fraud investigation and discovered the Simd had been involved in at least 2 other accidents after our incident. They denied her claim and forwarded the case to their special investigations unit. I thought that was the end of it until 6 months later when I received a call from a detective requesting a statement about my accident. Your incident was part of a pattern, he explained. The same woman tried her reverse scam on an off-duty detective 3 weeks ago. He had a dash cam that caught the whole thing. When we searched her phone, we found text messages discussing your accident specifically. It turned out the woman was part of an organized insurance fraud ring involving 15 people. Cantor, including the police officer who wrote my ticket. They had been running staged accident scams across 3 counties, targeting newer vehicles with likely insurance coverage. The officer would arrive quickly, always blame the victim, and the scammers would file inflated claims. The detective estimated they had stolen over $2 million from insurance companies over 2 years, which ultimately raises premiums for everyone. All 15 members of the ring were charged with multiple felonies. My ticket was dismissed, and my insurance company refunded my deductible and rate increase. The day after giving my statement, I bought the most expensive dashcam I could find and installed it in both my cars. I've given dashcams as gifts to 6 family members since then, because some accidents are genuine mistakes, others are carefully orchestrated scams, and the only thing that can tell the difference is a camera that never lies. I'll never drive without one again.